Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. When it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies, the majority of the battle, I think, is just managing one's own emotions, because human tendencies are not exactly ideal when it comes to market participation. There's the idea of feeling like you're missing out on something. Oh my gosh, this thing that I don't own, it's going up tremendously. I must abandon all of my current crypto positions, run into that as it goes up. Unfortunately, by the time you notice that and it's already run up, a lot of the multiplier effect may be done, especially in crypto markets. Things happen so damn quickly here. So people do that. And then on the flip side, when you're holding something that starts to get a bit crashy, the tendency is to just, you want to stop the pain, right? Of course, and I can understand why. You want to stop the pain, you want to stop the bleeding, let's get the heck out of this thing, and then you abandon ship. But data indicates, and this is true in the stock market and in crypto, that these tendencies in general are going to result in you having a bad day. It frankly really is. It really is just this idea that's as simple as the herd mentality. When things are going poorly, following the lemming that's in front of you right off that cliff to your own demise. It's not a good idea, but this is what people continue to do. And so just getting that under control can be tremendously useful, especially given what's happening in the world of crypto today. I know so many people are absolutely freaking out. I am not among them. I happen to understand these things, and I'm not pretending to be some sort of wizard or something like that. No. There's nothing special about me, period. I'm just a regular guy that happens to own cryptocurrencies, happens to be running a YouTube channel here. But I certainly have that part in check, and I do not make emotional buying and selling decisions. And so I think it can help just to be informed of potential outcomes, because if they unfold, especially if they're scary ones, we might be more inclined to take a more level-headed approach, a bit more rational approach, rather than just following that lemming that's in front of us right off the cliff. And so I do want to let you know, analysts that I'm following now are issuing warnings on XRP and altcoins, to be fair, but we're going to talk specifically about XRP in this video as far as altcoins are concerned. And there's a chance that it's probably more probable than not, you're going to see in the short term perhaps a bit more downside action. That does not mean it's the end of the world. It does not mean XRP is going to zero. It does not mean that greener days are not ahead. In fact, greener days, in all probability, are ahead. Substantially better, much more green days, a lush green. And so I'm not covering this to freak anybody out, but I just think it really can be helpful to understand potential outcomes, so that should they unfold, we can react with logic and reason and understanding, rather than just emotional nonsense which gets you wrecked. Now, before I go any further, I do want to be clear again, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos as a hobby about Ripple and XRP and crypto, and that's all that's going on here. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 94 cents, Bitcoin is at $38,065, market cap for the asset class just a hair under 1.6 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance climbing to 44.53%. And this seems to be the expectation that for a little while, as far as how long, ask an analyst, get a little bit of a different answer here, but it seems to be the case that for now, Bitcoin's going to be increasing in terms of dominance, altcoins selling off. But, if it is the case, and I do believe it's the case, if it is the case that we are going to see this bull market continue, you must understand the way that money flows through crypto, the way it historically has, and the way I certainly anticipate it will continue to this market cycle, is money flows into Bitcoin first, and then it goes into large cap coins and mid cap coins and small cap coins, and then some money then goes out to the side of fiat currency, but a lot of it will cycle back into Bitcoin. So it's very cyclical. These bull markets, you get these pullbacks, and that's the reason you see the up and down. There's all sorts of volatility, but once money really again flows back heavily into altcoins, you get these crazy parabolic run-ups. And it's easy to understand why. It's because the altcoins are so less liquid compared to Bitcoin. There's way less money in that. And so if you just think, if I have a $20 bill on the table, let's just say the market cap for all the money in the world on that table 20 bucks. How much money has to be thrown down to double that little market cap on the table? Well, 20 bucks, you know, who doesn't have that in their pocket? Throw 20 bucks down, you know? And so that's easy. You could have one market participant jump in, throw down a $20 bill, and wow, we just got a 100% increase. But what happens when you have Bitcoin, which today has a $712 billion market cap? Well, a lot more money and a lot more participants have to jump in to get that to double, right? And so when you have cryptocurrencies, altcoins that have much smaller market caps, it's easy to understand conceptually that since there's less money in them, the amount of money that has to flow in to get that to double, triple, quadruple, it's way less. And so the price can get bid up much more quickly as soon as some eyes get focused on that and the FOMO begins. The prices get bid up very quickly. So even though the money's flowing from Bitcoin into other cryptocurrencies, you can get tremendous multiplier effects that if the same amount of money flew into Bitcoin, you would not get that type of multiplier effect. And so that's why altcoins are so appealing at these particularly low levels. That's also why when the money does start to rotate back into XRP and the altcoins, that is what you should expect to see, I think. That's what's happened historically, right? And, oh, and by the way, I haven't mentioned Spark token, so I did want to highlight that for a while. The Spark token IOU is at $1.23, so even it has taken a beating because for most of the last, I don't even know how long, it seems like it's been mostly hovering around $2. So bad times for everyone. That's not Bitcoin, right? Well, even Bitcoin, actually. But here's a tweet from my fellow YouTuber, the blockchain backer. And he wrote, "Hey all, like I mentioned in my videos throughout the week, I'm unavailable Friday and Saturday. I have no computer access, so this is the best I can post for now." XRP finally heads back toward the 3-year broken resistance to check for support. And here's the chart that he shared right there. And so you're looking right around that 94-cent level. Although I will also note, XRP price actually did within the last 24 hours get down to 85.4 cents according to livecoinwatch.com. So that was the level when he was tweeting this out just a bit earlier today. And he then wrote the following: "I won't be surprised by one more push down to really grind in there to get a bottom. Typically that's what we see. Takes out a previous low, goes back to hit it, sets one more low, then pops back up out of there." And so this is why he's offering just a friendly warning that you may very well see XRP price go lower. And you can see, according to this chart, which, usually when people draw these little squiggle lines, it's just to get a feel for the general direction this is going to go. Not necessarily that it's going to go exactly to the bottom of where he's drawn here, but if it did, that would be somewhere in the low 70-cent region. It doesn't mean that it definitely is going to happen, but he's just saying, hey, if it does, do not be surprised. There are going to be all sorts of people that'll be freaking out even further. Oh my gosh, the pain, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. But the truth of the matter is, as I mentioned in a video just the other day, if you want to ask yourself, when in the last 12 years has it been the right time to sell Bitcoin? The answer is never. When was it the right time to sell XRP? In the last, it's been traded for over 8 years now. When was the right time to sell XRP? Well, the answer is never. And so look, and I don't mean that on an individual basis. There could be all sorts of individual situations where a person wants to diversify for any number of reasons. Who knows? Hardships come across in life, and you absolutely must convert some of your crypto holdings into something. Fine. I'm not talking about that. In terms of betting whether or not the price is going to go up or down, if you just look on the whole, betting against Bitcoin and betting against XRP has been a bad idea. We're in a bull market. Now you just wait. I'll be able to say that even more strongly once this market cycle is complete. I firmly believe that. But we are still in a bull market, and the vast majority of analysts that I'm following do still believe that is the case. And so there's also chart analyst Love Crypto, who seems to have a very similar idea of what's going to happen here for XRP. XRP risks a further downside test of 57 to 65 cents demand zone. Many alts still do not have a full relative strength index reset on the daily. I believe more sell-side pressure is coming, particularly as Bitcoin gains more market dominance. Maybe a short-term relief rally before the above, though. So again, just take it for what it's worth. This is not being shared to scare anybody. I think it's worth being worth being aware of these potential outcomes, so that should they happen, we're not caught off guard by them, because I think that'll just make it more likely that the emotions are going to hit and could result in emotional buying and selling decisions. So I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold. But I am saying, whenever you do make your decision for yourself, just do your best to remove the emotion from it, because emotion is not a good driver. Get that emotion out of the driver's seat. That is not going to serve you well. And then there was this tweet from Love Crypto: Bitcoin macro analysis. Confluence of support around the $28,000 to $32,000 levels is huge. The golden pocket, the 50 weekly moving average, and weekly order block. Expecting reaccumulation environment for a few months. Losing the 50-week moving average leads to a mini bear market, probably revisiting 2017 all-time high at $20,000. And so, look, he's not saying that he thinks that is necessarily what's going to happen. He's just saying, hey, if support doesn't continue to look so hot, here's what could happen. And by the way, this is what in a general sense, what I keep seeing from chart analyst after chart analyst after chart analyst. Here's something from Alessio Rastani. He put out a video today, and by the way, he is a top shelf analyst. I would cover him much more frequently if he shared his opinions on market conditions more regularly. But he's got a YouTube channel where he talks about all sorts of price action with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He may be close to 300,000 now. And the thing is, he doesn't always talk about crypto on his channel or on Twitter, but when he does, it's not always about XRP. In this case, he was just talking about Bitcoin, and he articulated why he does believe that you're going to see, in all likelihood, ultimately continuation upward. He does not believe that we're going to be seeing a bear market this year. And then he cited the key metrics that you could look for just in case, but you'd have to watch this video. I don't want to do a repeat of somebody else's technical analysis. I don't like to break down technical analysis on this level. I'm not a chart analyst. What I prefer to do is collect a number of opinions from a ton of different chart analysts and then share them in one spot in these types of videos, because I just don't see anybody else doing that, and people seem to appreciate just getting a broad range of opinions from tons of analysts without having to go click around all over the internet themselves. So I'm happy to do it. I like being aware of a ton of opinions from all sorts of people, but I just have legitimately no interest in learning chart analysis. I'm just a holder. I much prefer to do that. It's much more simple, stress-free. Love that. And beyond that, I just love researching fundamentals and tracking news of crypto. To me, that's much more fun, much more interesting here. But I appreciate these people that do this work. And so, yeah, he also does not think that we're going to be seeing a bear market anytime soon. Here's a tweet from Josh Rager, another very popular chart analyst, up to 169,000 followers now. He writes, many bottoms are wicks down hard and fast, but at the same time, just because it seems like you have plenty of time to get it filled doesn't mean it will go lower. Back in 2018 and 2019, people had days/weeks to buy the bottom of Bitcoin, and it was surely a generational bottom. And so just keep in mind, all of these times for the past 12 years, if you just look at Bitcoin, when the price has crashed lower, those have actually been buying opportunities. And yes, I understand that there are 80 to 90% retraces, but I'm saying at the bottom of any of these, if you just bought and then held, history has shown that you've ultimately made it out just fine. And so volatility is what makes investing in this asset class very attractive. And yes, that's true that we don't like it when it goes to the downside, but it's been trending up for 12 years. And so yes, we must endure that pain if we want all the tremendous gains. Then yeah, if you're going to have a 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% pullback, in the worst cases, when you really hit bear market territory again, it gets that high, we have to be able to endure that, or else we're not going to get the highs here. We have to understand that this volatility is a real thing. And yeah, when it comes to finding the right time to maybe adjust risk exposure, certainly when cryptocurrencies become a substantially large percentage of your overall net worth, Yeah, I think a lot of people, myself included, will reevaluate how much we want to have, and that happens to typically occur at the top of these parabolic runs before you see the bear crash. So if you're watching for something like that, maybe you readjust and you avoid the bear market anyway. I'm just saying, when these things do hit, when on the downside, all the people that are panicking, if they had the power of hindsight, if they could just see a year or 2 or 3 in the future, that their buying would result in them having tremendous regret, they just wouldn't do it, but they don't have that. So what they're doing is they're feeling something in the moment and letting that take the wheel. That the emotion is in the driver's seat, and that just doesn't go well, frankly, vast majority of the time. And in fact, so here's a tweet from Michael Vandepop to that end. There's such a gigantic lesson in the fact that the hype was around $55,000 to $60,000, and literally all of those old friends wanted to call me to get into Bitcoin. Now everyone wants to get out of Bitcoin and is not interested in buying it. Such a massive, massive lesson. Yeah, so that is very true. This is how humans behave. My gosh, something's going up and I'm not a part of it. I want to be a part of it too. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what is happening emotionally with people. And then now that it's dropping, oh my god, I don't even want to touch that thing. I can't believe I did that. I feel like such a dummy. Yeah, well, yeah, you feel like a dummy until it goes up inevitably again, which is why people, they just don't have sufficiently long-term horizons in mind when they're purchasing crypto. It's like they just want to do stuff, and then they keep buying and selling and getting in and out of assets. They feel like it's a good thing if they're just doing something, when the truth is the best thing is to just not do anything. Like, data proves that. Trying to time markets, being a trader, all of this stuff, getting out of stuff because you think something's going to go, you don't know what the hell you're doing, and data proves that. I mean, fine, maybe you are like the actual rare exception, in which case, congratulations legitimately. But that's almost 0% of humans on the planet. Data shows it's best to just ignore stuff, like buy something and then just forget it. And especially if you've only put in money you're willing to lose in case we're all wrong and this goes to 0, makes it a lot easier to sleep at night. I certainly think. And so then there's a tweet from El Capo who indicated that, look, he's another analyst that agrees that a bear market is very unlikely unless, he says to watch for this, if Bitcoin actually consolidates below $30,000, okay, that's a bad sign. Until then, he says he's bullish, right? So, I personally, not at all. I sleep easy. None of this gets to me. I haven't sold a single XRP, and I've been holding since November of 2017. Not one XRP, because my bet is the same. That at some point, and I've been saying this really ever since the last bubble popped. I said, okay, it was pretty clear the bubble popped. There'd been too much of a tremendous run up. I figured that I may be in for holding XRP for years before it starts to rally again. But now it is. It has started to rally, and fine, there's another pullback right at this moment. But my bet was that at some point in the future, XRP would be worth substantially more than it was at that point in time. And it has finally since then rallied up to $2, and now it's back below that because this is crypto and it's volatile. But it doesn't matter. Just because I want it to be higher now, so what? It doesn't matter what I want. I'm not a child. I'm not going to be freaking out that get impatient. Oh my God, it's not worth more than I want it to be worth more. No, that's stupid. So I'm just not going to be like that. But anyway, just wanted to warn you, might be seeing some more downside action. But again, even if that happens, in all likelihood, I can't find an analyst that thinks that we are actually back in a bear market. So if they're all correct, then even if it takes weeks or months for the rally to resume, that's fine. But typically, the greater the long time it takes in terms of sideways trading and consolidation, when things do finally pop, they usually pop that much bigger. That's something that chart analyst Credible Crypto spouts off all the time, and he's correct. And that's the big part of the reason XRP, because it trades sideways longer than most large cap cryptos. When it finally does go, it's like to the moon, basically, right? So it's still interesting. Like I'm having fun doing this. I love tracking all this stuff. I feel great about it. And I've also only invested money that I'm willing to lose in case I'm wrong. Wrong in terms of where I suspect this is all going to go, because there's no way to know anything with 100% certainty. But I personally have strong conviction and a high level of confidence based on historically what has occurred within crypto markets and understanding just human psychology and what people are doing, what drives them to buy and sell. Just being aware of all of this, I firmly believe that while they're all panicking and getting in and out of positions and it's complete lunacy, all I have to do is precisely nothing. Precisely nothing. Let them work it out. Let them cause the volatility. I'm not going to cause the volatility. I'm on the sidelines. I'm just going to keep holding. Let them do all the nonsense, crazy stuff, and then eventually the price will be much higher in the future, I believe. And I don't choose the time, and I do have to be patient for years and years and years, but that is how it works. And if you can't handle that, you're going to have a real tough time in crypto. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say are right. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.